Three words: Black Lives Matter. Detroit, up next. Let's go.
Brian's cosigns, yeah.
What's up, y'all? You are now rocking with Brian's cosigns. I am Brian Gunn. Detroit is directed by Karen Bigelow, and it stars John Boyega, Will Poulter, and Algie Smith, among others. It is set in Detroit during the 1967 Detroit riots, and the movie focuses on an event that took place in the Algiers Motel, which resulted in the deaths of 3 young black men, along with the severe beatings of 7 more young black men and also 2 young white women. I was emotionally stirred by this movie, and I also had inner conflict because as much as I found this movie to be so magnificent, it was also lacking in some areas. I'll get to that in a minute. The movie gives a brief explanation of how the riots started, followed by a harsh visual experience of how the riots are affecting the neighborhood and its inhabitants. One scene involves Poulter's character, who's a cop, and he shoots an unarmed black looter in the back as he's trying to escape with groceries in his hand. That scene does not even begin to prepare you for what's going to come later. Larry Reed, who is played by Smith, has significant screen time, and it almost becomes a biopic about him rather than the motel incidents. Boyega has the most riveting role. He plays a concerned citizen who is trying to see it from both sides. He is called an Uncle Tom by his own people, but he's trying to explain to law enforcement why black folks are so angry. But at the same time, he's offering support to the troops. Once all of the characters are introduced and the plot is established, we go to the second act. And the second act is hard. The second act of Detroit is as horrifying as any scary movie you'll ever see, except this is real. It's a pure torture fest. The way these suspects are treated it'll rip your soul apart. It's so vile, in fact, that you probably won't be able to watch all of this on screen. Poulter said that his character was so disturbing that in between takes, he actually hugged his co-stars. Bigelow is a visceral director with an eye for imagery, and yeah, this one definitely hits the mark. It is a case of racists with authority who overuse their power, knowing there's nothing that can stop them. And even the ones that can stop them turn a blind eye. Even the associates of the black hostages can get it. And I call them hostages because at this point in the movie, they're not suspects anymore. The 2 white women are treated with utter disdain, and they are physically assaulted and mentally assaulted as well, but they escape. Well, they don't escape. They keep their lives, put it like that. It's a fiery time during this point in the movie, but that third act almost negates that fire and it basically extinguishes it. There are a few scenes in the beginning of the third act that deflate the audience's hopes, but it's designed to do that, to make you wonder what's going to happen next. But after that, the movie sort of deflates. It focuses too much on one particular character rather than the moment. There's a lot of B-roll footage that's thrown in there, I guess, to make the movie longer, but it doesn't work. Also, the writing is a flaw. The first act begins abruptly, and then it just goes on and on without little explanation. But the saving grace of the movie is the second act. So powerful, in fact, that this reason alone is why you should see Detroit. It is a powerful second act, loaded with emotion. Therefore, I am co-signing Detroit to the fullest.
When I say, who's the master, you say.
Detroit. Detroit, Detroit, Detroit.
So there it is. Hey, I think that until everyone, not just minorities, understand the history of police and minorities, the movie Detroit will have a sequel called America. And that's currently in production. Detroit, have you seen it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Put your comments down south. Let me check them out. Subscribe, please. And as always, take your ass to the movies. All right?
Brian's cosign. Yeah.
Black lives really do matter.